Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Transform Your Impact. We are meeting with business owners, creatives, visionaries to interview them on their secrets for success, on living a life of fulfillment, and also making money doing what they do. Today, we're interviewing Jon Lavin. He's the Senior National Sales Director with Primerica, and he's up to greatness, and I'm really excited to have you on the show. Thanks for being here.
Well, I am delighted to be here, and I am a Senior National Sales Director because there are many.
Okay, got it. Clear.
It sounded good. I liked it. It was a good start.
Wonderful, wonderful. Will you tell us about what you're up to with Primerica?
I'd be happy to. This is what a privilege. Number one, thank you for asking. So I'm with Primerica. I've been 39 years. I had to change it recently from 38. I was saying 38 years for way more than a year. So it's 39 years that I've been with Primerica. I started right out of college. I was an aspiring golf professional who couldn't putt. And in golf, you have to putt to make a living at it, or you're going to be you'll be in a pro shop and giving lessons for the rest of your life. And that was not my desire. Somehow, as a youngster, I always had this dream of owning a business. Or at least not having a boss. So it meant I'd need to own a business. And that came from working at country clubs and working around wealthy people and growing up in a pretty affluent area, not having any money ourselves and saying these people really aren't that different. They just did something different. And so I was fortunate enough to find an idea and a company with an idea that I really bought into. And so when I got recruited, I was 23, I was single. And I had big dreams and goals, and I was actually in direct sales, door-to-door, selling waterless cookware and cutlery. Wow. And so I don't know if any of the viewers have ever met anybody who sells expensive knives or cookware, but I was one of those guys, and they probably should be avoided unless you're ready to write a big check. I liked it, and I didn't like it. It was obviously not something I was going to do forever, but I got a great foundation in basic fundamentals of business, of prospecting and appointment setting and presenting and answering questions or overcoming objections and helping people make decisions and getting referrals and building a business that really could generate itself through a referral system. And so we help families with their finances. We teach people how to make, save, and accumulate money. We teach people how to get out of debt. We teach individuals and small business owners what the big financial institutions know about money and finance, but somehow never want to tell us or teach us about it. You know, I went to school and I got math and science and English and history and all these great courses, and I never got a class called money. And so I don't know about all of you, but I use money every day and never got a class, and I had years of algebra, and I don't use any. Maybe some of you do. Thank you that our school system's helping. But we find that most people, if asked, have you ever had a course in investing, or have you ever had a course in personal finance, a curriculum for a period of time that really teaches you about protecting your loved ones and having a budget and saving and accumulating money for retirement or for the college education of children, having a will, just making sure we're spending our money in the right ways and really having direction. That's what we do. Most people, we find they don't have any financial education, and they don't have a written plan, and they don't have a coach. And so we find it's very difficult to win if you're not really directed in an area you've never been educated on. So that's the premise of our company, is to teach people about money. And it really started by teaching people about the life insurance industry, which is not a very popular subject. And if anybody's watching who's in the life insurance industry, I don't mean to say anything to offend you. I just have my own personal belief about that industry after 39 years. I believe, unfortunately, they're selling up products many times to the consumer that are very beneficial to the company and the agent, and the client could do better. And that's really how our company started, was teaching people a concept called buy low-cost term life insurance and invest your money elsewhere. And in our elsewhere is retirement plans and 401ks and IRAs and Roth IRAs and mutual funds and college funds. And so our whole game plan is to get people protecting their families, to accumulate money, and to get out of debt. And that's kind of that's the world we live in. And we take that to the middle market. So my wife and I started, I was 23, she was 19. She was my girlfriend at the time. And we were fortunate enough to come into a company that said you could be an advisor and make money as a self-employed advisor, or you could be a recruiter, trainer, and developer of other people where you're spending your time coaching and mentoring individuals who could then become business owners themselves. And I was fortunate to find a system that I could become successful by helping other people become successful. So step one is I had to figure out how to be successful. And I had to get really good at what I did. And then so I was worthy of someone listening, right? So we now have about almost 2,000 agents, 49 offices that have opened. They're all independently run, but we still get compensated on those businesses, but it doesn't come out of their pocket. Our company compensates us to develop leadership. So my whole business today is looking for leaders, looking for people who could become vice presidents. And our company allows people, Alexa, to come in, work with us part-time, get their licenses, and kind of try it on and see if they like it. So we're able to bring people into our industry without them leaving their job. And they're able to learn our business, and kind of at worst case, they're going to learn about money and finance. And at best case, they're going to get licenses that are valuable to them. And at a better case, they're successful making money, which is how I get paid when they make money. And the best case would be they go on to become a vice president and run their own operation and build their own agency and build their own family business that they could pass on to their family. And so I love what I do because my number one focus is to find, it's like a talent search for people who want to own their own business, a business that can be transferred to a family or sold at some point. So that's what I'm up to every day.
That's so great. So it's really like transforming people's lives through financial, getting out of debt.
Financial literacy.
Yeah.
One part. And an entrepreneurship, the chance to be in business for themselves, but generally an entrepreneur is in business for themselves and by themselves. Within our system, you've got a whole support system of other business owners that only succeed if you're successful. So that takes on a whole other, life of itself, because now it's truly finding somebody who has a desire to be successful. They've got goals and dreams. They've got ambition, but maybe they don't have any money. They don't have any knowledge. They don't have any experience. Or they do, but they just need a system that will reward them for developing others. Because unfortunately, in most businesses, the very best people that come into our business, if they're really, really good at it, they leave and they go do their own business. They learn everything they can from the business owner or the system, and they use that information to become entrepreneurs, to open their own business. Totally. And in our system, we want them to do that. We get compensated to do that. So we're protected, our kind of our intelligence and our marketing systems and everything we know that we would hold so dearly to ourselves. If we didn't want someone to copy, we actually want them to copy. We want them to take it and use it because we can offer them an opportunity equal to what we do. So what that causes is, for me, from the beginning, I had to get better. I had to learn. I had to grow. I had to learn about people. And I had to learn about coaching and mentoring. And I had to get out of my own head and quit worrying about me all the time and really put my focus on others. And I found as I learned to do that, and a lot of the transformational work I've done has helped me do that, I was able to start to attract people that wanted what we had and felt that I could give them the right direction. So that's really, I spend my days trying to find somebody who wants to learn what I know. And I don't know that much, but I know about this.
Only 39 years worth of knowledge.
Of this, yeah. Of this.
Yeah. So how do you know when somebody is like going to be a great fit? Can you feel when somebody's going to be a good fit for, like what are the qualities that you're looking for?
I could guess. I'm bad. My wife's really good at it. I am an optimist. If you tell me I'm going to do great, I believe you. Okay. Now we quickly start to find out. So what are some of the, I'll give you a couple. One is, so integrity. We throw that word around, but boy, I'll call you. Okay. Did they? I texted them. Did they respond within a reasonable, little things, kind of just being really polite. Okay. Work ethic. competitors, people that have competed at a high level somewhere else, sports, school, right, so education, theater, dance, music, art, but high level, like where they excelled above everyone else. Those are the same fundamentals it takes to be successful in anything. So we have a set of fundamentals we have to teach, and those that have excelled in the past know what it's going to take to become a master. So the mastery of the material, it comes from somebody who knows, okay, I can't just put my toe in the water and it's going to work, maybe to some degree, but if I really want the rewards, the promise, then I'm going to have to become a master. The good news is we've really quantified what mastery is, and we can give someone exact direction. So competitors do well. People with good people skills, generally likable people, do well. Now, you don't have to like people to do well, but you've got to at least act like you like them to do well. It's better if you like them. It's a little easier if you like them. You'd enjoy what you do every day. Yeah, so I just think, I think that people that can set goals, can have a vision, that can think outside the box a little regarding what their future could look like. And they're really almost, I don't want to use the word desperate, but I think desperate's a good word. Desperate to find a place.
Hungry?
Desperate to find a way to succeed and to live a lifestyle and to be able to do something special for their loved ones. I think those people that are really driven to have a different type of life do well here, do well with me.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I know a few people who work with you, and they were just talking about how the trainings that you guys provide, it's like they're intense, right? Like feedback rich, like you really coach people.
We do what we call drill for skill. So somewhere along the way, I figured out you could tell me how good you are at presenting the concepts, but until I see you do it, hear you do it, I don't know whether you're good at it. Your results might tell us you're good, but before there are results, you've got to be able to communicate. So we do a lot in communication. So a lot of practice, drill, and rehearse. So just like in sports, I mean, really. So I'm a golfer, so I kind of come from that place of before you can hit a golf ball, you have to know a few things. You got to have the right grip. You got to have the right stance. You have to have the right posture. You have to have the right alignment, right? And then you could start. If any of that's off, then something else goes wrong quickly, right? So if you want consistency, there's certain fundamentals. Well, in our business, it's the same. There's certain basics. And so we can't expect what we don't inspect. So if I expect something from you, then I need to inspect to make sure it's being done the way we want it done. So we have videos and audios. I do a lot of video training and audio training, and in writing. So if I've got a presentation I want someone to learn, which are concepts that need to be taught to the consumer, because we're an education-based financial company. So really our goal is to educate, not sell. It's very consultative in that we usually meet 2 to 3 or 4 times with someone. So we kind of do, okay, here's who we are and who are you? And then the next meeting is, all right, what do you want? What are your goals? What are your dreams? What are your concerns? And we map that out with a plan for them, a written plan called a financial needs analysis. And then we come back, we assess it, and we come back with a recommendation. And many times we can only just get started because the plan is underfunded. The goals and dreams are bigger than the budget. So we can only do what we can do for now, but then it's an ongoing process. So we'll work with people long range. So it's very consultative. So it's fun because we find out, what do you want? What do you need? Where are the problems? And then we can, like a doctor takes an x-ray, we do that with finances, and then we prescribe the proper solution.
That's so great. Awesome.
Yeah.
So do you wake up like in the morning jazzed about getting out of bed and loving it?
I do.
Yeah.
Unless I had a couple glasses too many of wine the night before, I'm very excited when I get out of bed. Okay. But usually I'll wake up pretty quick. No, I'm pumped. Yeah, I am, because the only way for me to have a great day is to empower others and to coach others and to see others succeed. So we're at the point, fortunately, at this point, where yes, we're more successful when our folks are successful, but I don't really have to worry about that anymore. When I started in business, I was pumped because I needed to pay the bills, and I had no choice. If I wasn't pumped, I had to act it, right?
Right.
So I had to, every day get up and go out of the house and hunt for something and kill it and bring it back home. So it was me and the world. And now as we build a business and we've built financial security for ourselves through our investments, that we've actually practiced what we preached. It took me a little while to learn that, but I learned that. And so now it's really a lot of fun, because now it's really about passing a business on to the family. It's a generation to generation investment. My son and a daughter-in-law are in the business. My brother's in the business. My wife's in the business with me.
Awesome.
And so we have a family business now that they will inherit at some point. I hope it's a long, long time from now. But so that's really, and I have a grandson, so start thinking about some, will they remember my name? Will the great grandkids remember, even though they know who I am? Most of us don't know who our great grandparents are, or we can't really say what they did for a living or where they came. We don't know, but I'm hoping that they will never forget.
Awesome. But there's something, so I just want to bring it back to this awesome business model that Primerica is, and really the ideals that you guys have built the company on. I mean, there was something about Primerica specifically that captured your focus and drew you to being a part of what they're at. Because you could have gone and worked for many different businesses and been wildly successful, I have the feeling. So what was it about Primerica that really caught your attention?
Wow. Well, righting a wrong. I knew nothing about the financial industry. And when I started to really understand the mathematics behind, and I'm not like a mathematician, I'm talking about just understanding basic, simple math of the products that the industry sells the consumer whenever they can. Their number, not everyone, all advisors are not like this, but there are many advisors trained by their management to market insurance with a savings component and life insurance bundled together. And they work very, very hard at getting the consumer to buy that. Mm. And I looked at the math and I realized if you break those two things apart, you buy insurance for insurance, and you save and invest your money to do that. If you do both, you'll always beat that bundled contract. And there are clearly points where you need that bundled contract in estate planning situations or special needs. But for the majority of the people, no. But yet it's sold, in my opinion, it's sold to a lot of people, and it's a commission-driven sale. And look, people have to make a living. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's living. But I got fired up about exposing that and giving people a choice that they had never been seen, they'd never been given before. And that started by a guy named Art Williams, who was a teacher and a coach who learned about this from his cousin. The story was his dad died and left his mama a $10,000 whole life policy. And Art had to leave college and come home and take work and finish college at home because his mom, they had no money. His dad was the breadwinner. So now his dad's gone. There's no money. There's a $10,000 policy. And that altered his life. Well, he found out 10 years later at a family reunion from an accountant cousin of his that his dad could add $100,000 of term insurance for the same money, which would alter the direction of that family. And when Art started to read about it and learn about it, and he looked at his policies and he started looking at his friends' policies, everybody had it. And he just learned you could have a lot more coverage and a lot more money for the same premium if you were given the choice. So he started telling everybody about it. And so the part-time concept was developed there because he was a teacher and a coach. He was a football coach. He had no intentions of doing anything but coaching forever. But he got licensed and started doing it part-time. It was wildly successful. And he said he had a goal of accumulating $300,000. And this was back in the early 60s. And he says, if I have $300,000, if I could get 10% on that, I could get $30,000 a year off that for the rest of my life without ever having to work again. And no one could put their thumb on me. I'd be free. And I don't know, there's something about that story, this idea of accumulating enough money or assets so that you could be free. No one was talking to me about that. No one was having that discussion with me. So they said, if you do this and we're successful, that could happen for you. And then he said, then the way you're going to make that happen fast is by recruiting and training and developing others to be successful. And if you're good at mentoring and coaching, then you're going to have two things going on. You're going to have a business that's operating and making you money, and you're going to have assets that are making you money, and you've got two sources of income that do not require you to work. And I said, okay, so they said you could work active, you exchange your hours for dollars, or you go to work for the money, or you could build an asset and a business where it's generating income in a passive format, where the work you did or the money you saved created this stream of money in the future. And so no one was talking to me as a 23-year-old about that stuff. So yeah, that's what captured me.
Awesome. So what would you say that if you could give one piece of advice for our viewers on the thing that's transformed your impact more than anything, what would you say that's been?
I would say relationships. I would have to say, I mean, my first gut was to kind of go with, fundamentals, get good at fundamentals. And I think once you're really good at the fundamentals of what you do, and then you could transfer that knowledge, that's something many people have the ability to do that. That's a teacher. You can do that. But to build a business, it's all about trust. And trust comes through relationships. And relationships come from really caring about people and their families and their kids and what they want and what's important to them, and looking at life many times from their perspective, not yours. And so I think transformational work that I've done has really helped me to understand whatever they're saying, there's a whole bunch of things that cause them to say it and feel it. And I need to put myself kind of where they're at and yet be a coach and be tough at the same time. So it's a really interesting dynamic to be someone's friend and to be their mentor and coach and to differentiate. And I really think when you've got relationships with people, it's easier to coach because they don't look at it as you trying to get them to do something for you, but we're trying to get someone to do something for their goals and dreams, what they want to accomplish. And I don't think you can do that without a platform of relationship.
Awesome. Will you tell our viewers about your free gifts?
Yeah. So what I wanted to do is make available to anybody this nice booklet called How Money Works. And we can get this to you in a PDF form. So when you can fill out your information, send it to us, and we'll send that to you. But more importantly, I'd be more than willing to do either a live meeting or a Zoom type meeting like we're doing, and to really talk about them and their goals and dreams and what they want to accomplish, either from a financial empowerment or financial advisory point of view, or from a business, maybe someone wants to go in business and make extra money or develop an option. Obviously, that's just so you all know, that's my most exciting thing I do. But I don't think this business opportunity makes sense if somebody doesn't really believe in what we're doing. Yeah. So the booklet will do, and we'll also do a financial needs analysis, which is a written game plan. We don't charge for that. So if somebody wanted to go to the next level and really learn about their finances and quantify what they need to do today to reach their goals and to get clear on their goals, and maybe even just to understand how much do I need to save every month to accumulate a big enough pile of money so that when I get ready to retire, I can really retire. Maybe it's as simple as that. We call that identifying your financial independence number. So we'll do that. And so I'm more than willing to offer that, knowing there's no fee for them. But if I can serve them well and build a relationship and there's a need, then I'll get compensated from that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jon Lavin. I really appreciate your time and your wisdom.
Well, thank you. I hope this has been helpful.
Yeah, it has. Thank you. All right, I'm about to turn this off. Awesome.